Hey, okay, finally we're here. If anyone's watching, yeah, sorry, a
Hello.
few internet connection problems here. Sam and Shannon sound a bit compressed, but hopefully we can make our way through. Aside from that, should we just get into it then? Hello, anyone who was watching. Eat as the Earth is a science fantasy world where these four intrepid heroes are navigating their way through these ancient ruins of the gods who have long abandoned this place. As always, we need to say that Eat as the Earth is inspired by the video game Case of Cud, made by Freehold Games. Thanks as always to them for allowing us to use their settings. Is there anything the group has to say before we get into it?
I do, but I'm afraid.
No, you're right, Sam. Your audio's okay.
Just to let everyone know, Warren Chronicles 3 has come out on Audible today, and it's my first ever professional acting job. So
That's Warhammer Chronicles.
if you want to go and watch it, download it, listen to it, not watch it because you can't because it's Audible. But yeah.
Is the audio quality as good as that which you're delivering to us now?
100%.
Hooray!
Right, I guess I'll have to. Warhammer Chronicles, you say, Sam?
Warringham, sorry, Warringham.
Warringham, I did Warhammer. Okay, Warringham.
Oh, Liam was actually excited for it.
No,
I want to work with. I want to work for
like,
Warhammer.
I've got
They
to
do
say,
loads.
like, I'm sure I'll get round to it, but no, I might. If it's not Warhammer Chronicles, then
Yeah, no, I apologize.
no offense to those who are fans of that stuff. Anyway, no one else got any announcements? Should we get into it? Or cool. So last time you had infiltrated the marquee of the sleeping noble Moda Rayfort. You'd snuck in, and Nuch, the wizard's apprentice with you, had performed this strange magic upon her, which had involved these flashing lights and words whispered in her ear. Your plans had a wrench thrown into them when Moda's bodyguard, River, entered the tent, and under this magic silence cast by Nuch, you battled. Realizing she couldn't win, River struck down the weakest one of your number, Nuch, before Zurab knocked her unconscious. And with his kind of last few breaths, Nuch did a few things. He injected River with something that healed her wounds, and then used this similar strange flashing device upon her. And Zurab, who didn't close his eyes quick enough, caught by it, lost his memories of that day. You snap back to the day previous. Barnlect and Zurab fled, carrying the bodies of Nuch and River. Zurab, you were forced to abandon the now fully healed body, still unconscious, of River in the midst of the tent ground surrounding Moda Rayfort. All of the party reconvened at Rayfreach, including Lox, your friend, and you watched as this illusion that covered the dead Nuch slowly faded to reveal the wizard and one of the rulers of Behel, Ilek, whose appearance you realise was pretty much exactly like that of Nuch, but older. Just kind of, more weathered. We ended with Carillia feeling this strange, bottomless well of life force within Nuch or Ilek begin to stir, and his body shuddered, regaining some semblance of life. So, to open, anyone got any questions about the previous session? In case I need any other reminders. We've lost Sam. We're now a clock will be playing the role of Sam tonight. But other than that, has anyone got any questions, or are we good to get into it?
I guess I have one that I might as well get out of the way.
Shoot.
I've got this weird voice in my mind.
You haven't got a voice in your mind. You've got
compulsion
impulse,
or whatever.
An impulse, yeah, a compulsion.
How strong is it on a scale of like nagging thought to I need to go to the loo right now?
No, it's not like that. I mean, you've got a 24 on your wisdom save against it. It's like you just have a new reflex or something. like an itch or something, you might scratch absentmindedly. It's not really present from your conscious thoughts.
But is the reason to go and grab a corpse, or what?
Sam just has to duck out briefly, but he'll be joining us back soon. Anyway, yeah, I mean, it's a compulsion that is far enough from the kind of the moment you're in that it's not really anywhere within your conscious thoughts. Zurab himself may, if it's up to you, Harry, but may not have even realised he has this compulsion yet.
Oh, I think I already said I had the compulsion.
Sure, then.
I think he's realised. Yeah.
He might have talked about it. Yeah, but it is specifically to do with picking up the body of River, not anyone else. It's not bodies in general that you're after. Yeah. So does that clear that up enough? I don't want to give things away too much. Anyway, let's get into it. So, it is the dead of night. A single clay oil lamp provides hazy illumination to the pallid room and its inhabitants. In the middle of the room is a corpse, the body of Nuh, perhaps Ilek. You are now not sure, as the glamour that gave the appearance of Nuh is half dissipated, revealing the face of Ilek underneath. A face almost identical to Nuh's, but weathered by element and age. You have questions that answered would only give rise to further questions, and the one you would ask is dead before you. In the midst of your fretting, Corellia has risen from Lox's side and approached to place her hands upon the corpse. She moves not with intention, but curiosity, and is quickly rewarded as the corpse suddenly shudders slightly, then convulses violently. Clenching into poses of agony, clotting blood is coughed onto the floor, and the convulsions begin to reduce in severity. The body of Nuh or Ilek shudders once more, then turns still again. Corellia, you feel with your sixth sense the erratic heartbeat return to deathly rest, and the flow of life force within slows to a trickle. But something continues to work its magic, rejuvenating the body, preparing it to once more return to life. As the adrenaline of your evening's endeavour fades, exhaustion begins to gnaw at the senses. Observed through bleary eyes and hazy light, this macabre scene could almost be a dream. What are you all doing?
I think Ailey asks, is he dead?
I'm not going to say anything.
Check his pulse. So you can hear me.
Yeah, sure. Okay, I'll roll a wisdom check for you.
I get like bonuses on if I'm touching someone when I do medicine checks.
Okay, well you rolled a 19 on your medicine check.
Go past.
What's your modifier for medicine? Sorry.
Plus, well, it's +1, but it's +6 technically if I'm touching him.
Okay. So you're touching him. Okay, I'll allow it. So 25. Yeah, I mean, as I said previously, you've got. You're not really sure what's going on. What's going on in this body is very alien to you. There is this seemingly bottomless well of life that is being pumped into this person. An experience very. Sorry, someone's keyboard is really loud. Someone it's very foreign to you as someone who's only really experienced kind of life as these discrete concentrated points. A body, a plant is a kind of a gathering of life to you, and so to see something that kind of within that space has kind of no bottom is the best I could describe it, in a kind of fourth dimensional sense to it. There's just this continual outpouring. Feels very strange to you. In terms of health, I mean, just in a purely medicinal sense, anyone looking at this person would see them as just fully dead. But to you think, yeah. I'm going to say with your senses currently, your abilities being where they are, you can't really plumb too much, even on a 25, but you can feel that something is stirring within this person's body to try to bring them back again. It's trying to wrench them back into living, as they did once before, and it appears to have failed this time. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I look to Ailey. I want to ask, I'm not really sure what's going on, but I think maybe if you ground me and I go looking, maybe we can find something.
Okay, I can do that. I will.
I don't know what hair is. I don't know if I'm making fun of my voice or my
You're very
apology,
compressed.
but fuck you anyway.
You're very compressed, Shannon, so it's a little hard to make out. But yeah, so you are Haley for.
It was just that you said something just 100% incomprehensible,
No, I can
and
tell
then
what
Grace
you're
was like, yes, we can do that. And I just assumed you said, like, let's just murder everyone in the room.
No, I heard it.
I heard it.
Oh, you
as well.
did? Okay,
It was
sorry.
clear to me. I think it's your problem.
Yeah, I think that's you.
It
Harry.
might be my problem, I'm sorry.
But for those who found it a little unclear, so Carillia has asked if Ailey can use, so far as I understand it, can help. If you work together, you may be able to kind of learn what's going on here with Ele. So Sam, just to catch you up, you can hear me, Sam? Is everything good on your end?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. I heard everything as well.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, cool. So you know what's going on. Sure. Great. Just making sure.
Yeah.
Cool. So that's where we are. I'm going to try to say as little as possible because, all the NPCs are dead here. I suppose, aside from Lox, I suppose, who's just sitting in the corner. But yeah. Okay. So what, do you two come together next to this body and try to... what are you going to
I'll use my sacred territory to create the informational mandalas that will, I hope, guide Corellia's power and help her focus it in a useful way.
Okay, I will say, Corellia, I mean, you already just got a 25 on your medicine. You don't know if there's much more you could learn on a kind of with your current ability, because I'm carrying over the role you used previously to kind of gauge with your psychic power that's going on 25. I don't think there's much more you could learn through kind of your senses, as it were. You might try with Ailey to do something intellectual.
Specifically,
Sorry?
what I want to do is kind of use Ailey as like an anchor to kind of reach out further than I normally would to find whatever energy this was.
Okay, sure. It's going to take 10 minutes to produce the sacred territory. Ailey sits down, staff resting, jangles slightly in the silence here, and you begin to drone your mantras. What happens in those 10 minutes? Does Jurab or Barney say anything?
Can you take a short rest in this 10 minutes?
Short rest is an hour, I'm afraid.
But in the famous D&D podcast, it's 10 minutes.
Which famous one?
I can't remember, with that long-haired twerp who I'm increasingly looking at. It's longer.
What, are you talking about Matt Mercer? Oh God, here we go.
Yes, him.
You could take the first 10 minutes of a short rest. So you're ready,
do that. I'm going to reload my gun. All right, I'm going to just play with my bullets and my gun.
Cool. Okay. Is Barney doing anything, Sam, or saying anything?
He won't be saying much. I go over to Lox and say, "How are you doing?"
You can see that Lox has been, you think, both kind of beaten up by kind of hands and feet by a group, and as you get close to her, I'm just going to roll a perception because it is dim light. Ooh. Yeah, you can see there's a bit of blood on the wall. You think that she, wincing, you think that she might have been lashed as well. Because you may recall that Lox kind of provided an opportunity for you to escape by pretending to be drunk and having kind of wandered into an area she shouldn't have been, to kind of distract guards. You think for that she may have been kind of essentially pummeled by soldiers and then, lashed as punishment before being let go.
Oof.
So a bit of her blood has kind of caught itself on the wall, the coarse wall behind her. She kind of flexes her shoulders slightly, scratches herself, kind of just thinking. She goes, I'm fine. Corellia here was nice enough to take care of me when I made it back here. How are you?
Great. I think I died, and then I came back, and then I nearly died again.
She looks over to looks over to the body of Ilech or Nook and kind of goes, that seems to be happening a lot.
Yeah.
What's wrong with your voice? I
Scratches his head.
something changed when you came back from the other side. It sounds very crunchy now. Okay. If those are the only conversations you have, I'm going to say Ailey eventually produces her sacred territory. You know, there's this expanding sphere, this scintillating light, these triangles that form a kind of a spherical shape around you that slowly drifts, and within that area, these. If are you using it for medicine check then, or sure? These kind of ripples begin to form. These kind of almost lotuses of information bloom up across this body. I think you did this last time. I can't remember, but if we're doing this, if Corelia is trying to. Okay, given what Corelia is trying to do, Shannon, make a check on advantage and add your spell attack modifier. Because this is you trying to kind of get a psychic grasp, right, of what's going on in this body. You've already kind of plumbed as much medicinally as you two can.
Spell attack modifier is plus, yeah, okay. Okay, not great at all, but we'll see. 11.
11. Right, okay, yeah. So Corelia creates a sacred territory once again. And as she begins to talk and you kind of follow these lotuses blooming across the body to guide them, to kind of gauge where things are, again, you're hitting a limit of knowledge and ability. If you were a stronger esper or if you had more medicinal expertise, perhaps there's more you gauge, but you think you two are at the limits of your knowledge right here. The best you know is that you can kind of sense this body is perhaps gearing up to try to kickstart Nook or Ilek's body back to life again at some point, but you're not sure when.
Well, I think that I could
So he's not living, but he's not quite dead. Is that correct?
Does Corelia say anything, Shannon? Or
I thought you were asking Liam. I think he might come back, or try to at least.
That will do for now, I suppose. You've done more than I could. Thank you.
I've done it without you.
Well.
London, baby.
Yeah, your relationship levels both rank up. Okay.
I get the sense that when he tries to come back, you could maybe do something then to get him to stay, or does it seem like can't really interfere in it?
I mean, before, yeah, I will say actually, given the checks you've made, what you've done previously, when you kind of sensed this life force moving through him, you were just kind of, it was so foreign to you that you were just really witness to it. You didn't get a chance to try to do anything with it. Maybe if you had some preparation, or if you kind of noticed quickly enough, you might be able to do something here. You might be able to kind of try to help this along, or stymie the flow of life or something if you want to. Yeah. But I think you both
Convey this to everyone.
Cool. But you think you've maybe reached the limits of what you can investigate about this body for now. What are you doing besides?
I'd like to open these letters.
Letters. Oh.
The letters that the priest gave me.
Oh yes, with the wax seals. Okay. So you break these seals. Just remind me what you noted for both of the letters again.
I have a letter intended for my superiors at Dwyer Inish, and I have a letter of introduction to help me guide me back to that sage, should I choose to return to Thype.
Sure. Okay. So opening the letter for superiors at Dwyer Inish first, can you give me a, let's just say purity.
I should point out, I can't read Thype.
Oh yeah, you can't.
In case that matters.
So the letter of introduction is in Thypian, but you see the letter that is for the Dwer Inish superiors is in a few different languages. One of which you can read. It is Odromo, the language of Odrum, which is where Dwer Inish borders. So you have a grasp of it. Give me a intelligence check just to try to kind of analyze the text here, in case you kind of pick up any inferences or kind of what's being implied between the words here.
Oh, so reading between the lines rather than...
This is just a reading. I'm going to tell you what you're reading, but also just to add to it, possibly based on your check.
Raw intelligence? Any skill relevant?
I'll let you use investigation, actually.
Well, in that case, I rolled a 20.
Okay.
A dirty 20.
A dirty 20. Okay. There's a lot of greeting here. It essentially is proposing a contingent of monks from Dwer Inish should make a pilgrimage to Thype and see if there can be essentially a collection, kind of a collective sharing of knowledge. They talk about the theological positions. Thype talks about their theological positions. The articulation is, very much one from a perceived place of authority. As in, what can we do for you as you a kind of a lesser entity to us?
It's talking down.
Yeah, it's talking down. Although it is kind of, it's got enough politeness in it that it's not too. It's talking down in terms of function, but not the kind of the language. If you get me.
Yeah.
And there is a kind of implication of there being a certain amount of financial worth within this. A possibility for kind of patronage, essentially. But you think, kind of having met that sage last night, reading this patronage, you might understand this as also a kind of slight clientelism. Like this would be part of Dwer Inish becoming essentially an extension of Thypian religion here.
The Empire of Thype extends on many axes at once.
Yes, absolutely. Military means is just one way. There's trade, there's religion, so on and so forth. That's what you gauge in the letters. The letter of introduction, you would need someone who can speak Thypian to read.
Yes. Zurab, you speak. You can read this
now,
symbology.
Harry, I don't know if we ever established if Zurab is literate or not.
Well, it says that Zurab can speak a bit of Thypian, but I don't think he can read.
It's up to you if he can read.
Can he also read, but just a bit? I want this to be the worst fucking translation ever.
Okay, I will say yes, you can try to read this. If you want to try, as Ailey shows you this paper, can you give me an intelligence saving throw?
Saving throw.
15 plus. Just a minute. 15.
15.
Yes, Thypian, yes. I'm practically fluent in it. It's all coming back to me now. And then what else does it say? What can I do?
Yeah, it's like, so you start to read it. I can't really do your Sazor Zizek voice, but it's kind of starts off as, you, soldier, this person here, great monk, important far. It's like the kind of Dennis reading Charlie's speech kind of stuff of carry this person far. Oh, hold on, we've just lost someone. Everything's gone wrong. Oh no.
Oh no.
Hold on one second.
Lost Shannon.
Do you have the letter itself that you can send me, and I can butcher it?
I don't have an actual written word here because I figured out what we've got. Okay, Shannon, you're back now. You're right.
Sorry.
Yeah. So it's kind of monk from far place, carry far to Thype city, protection all the way. You get essentially a broken down message that relays to any kind of military presence. You kind of think, listening to Zurab kind of brutally translate this. It says basically any kind of contingent of the Thypian military. They are religiously bound to give you an escort, or to kind of provide a continuation of an escort to get you to the city of Thype at the center of the Thypian Empire.
Excellent. Thank you, Zurab. Is Zurab
No
just
problem.
kind of like, is Zurab pretending that he's perfectly literate, or is he kind of stumbling over it?
Yeah, he has read that out with the confidence of like someone who practically wrote it themselves.
Okay. So I think then Ailey has no sense that any meaning has been lost in translation.
Well,
She's,
I mean,
she's just
got-
pleased that he helped.
Yes.
Great.
Okay,
Looks fun.
so
Zurab helpful for both shooting the gun and also the higher intellectual pursuits such as reading and interpretation and so on. Goodbye.
You're a man of many talents.
Yes, exactly. I'm
I
just
think I
gonna
want to
bask
ask
in that
Bonnie.
compliment.
oh sorry, Shannon, what are you saying?
Can you hear me? Is my audio okay?
It's a bit compressed, but yeah, go ahead. I think we can make out what you're saying.
Okay, I want to ask Bonnie and Jurab if they kept what injected into the woman.
So I don't think Barnlect or Zurab have mentioned the any injections to River or Barnlect yet, but
They see it even.
sorry.
They even see it.
So are you talking about the substance that Nuh or Ilek injected into both Barnlect and River last night, or?
Yes.
So the syringe that was in has been discarded somewhere. But yeah, also I should add, Harry, that Zurab has no memory of what's happened this night at all. Your memory stops going to sleep yesterday, and there hasn't really been a moment where you've relayed to each other.
No, I did. We had a chat last session. I made it very clear that I had no idea what was going on, although admittedly I had forgotten that up until the moment you mentioned it right now. I will bear it in mind a little more.
Did we interpret that as just Jurab being Jurab, or did we know that something was up?
Sam.
Oh my god! Is someone DDoSing the whole of London? What is
Sorry
going
about this,
on?
anyone who's watching. The internet keeps going very wrong. Now your places are all swapped again.
Are they trying to suppress our tweets about Dominic Cummings?
I might be.
Yeah,
That's exactly what they're doing.
I see. I can hear you, Sam, but we've got no video now.
Ooh, freaky.
Wait, we can hear you better.
Yeah, you're.
Hello?
Not anymore, though.
Anymore.
Okay. So it's as soon as I add voice images, it freaks out.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes.
Hold on. Can I try getting rid of?
Well, if you get rid of video, you switch places, which I can change over, but it's an annoying setup with Discord.
Yes, no, I appreciate that. Okay, I'll
Sorry about this.
still
Anyone
stand
who's
dreadful.
watching. We'll try to fix this. It's just everything's going wrong tonight for some reason. Very fun. Anyway, so where are we? So I mean, I don't believe you two have said that you have relayed tonight's events to everyone here. So you don't really have a sense of what's going on. Zurab just seems continually confused. Barnlect has gone over to talk to Lox, but other than that, you're not sure what's gone on. These two came back with a dead Nuh, and you've basically just devoted your time to try to find out what's going on, but you haven't asked why Nuh is dead or anything. So that's something you need to discuss.
Did he succeed in his goal? I
You
think he'll
asking?
live. Did he Zurab or Barney? What happened?
I'm not going to be of a huge amount of use because somebody must have cracked me on the head or, sprinkled something magical into my tea. I can't remember shit all. I remember going to sleep last night and then, yes, that's it. nothing else. So you'll have to talk to the camel one for this. I'm sorry. Was it one of you? Can anyone work out what's wrong with me?
I've spent
do a medicine check.
I want to check his little head for any bumps or bruises.
Okay. Medicine check. Looking over, yeah, there seems to be no bumps, although you can see his pupils are weirdly narrow, given the low light you're currently in. Almost like he was exposed to a very, very bright light and he hasn't quite recovered yet.
Just a quick directorial note.
Sure.
It's not a little head, Shannon. He's got like quite a big head. In fact, I specifically designed him.
Characters with such big heads.
I don't know. I do like them.
Explicitly a big guy.
Don't do the meme. Don't fucking do it.
It's 2020. I don't know what meme you're talking about.
No, neither do I. And we're going to move on.
Isn't it the Bane? Isn't it the Bane?
Yeah.
Yes, Sam. I think you tried to do the meme, but your internet was so shit that I just heard.
That's how he sounds in the film.
Right. Yeah.
I'll try to smuggle that in at some point.
This is the worst D&D session ever.
Yeah, this is really going wrong. Anyway,
I apologize.
Yeah. So looking at Zurab, his eyes. Something's gone wrong with his eyes a bit, but other than that, he doesn't appear to have any bumps on his head, although you can see a few scrapes and kind of bruises on him.
I really don't know the limit of my own powers, so I don't know what I can do. But can I kind of try and see if there's any? Because I know magic exists. Magic lady. Can I see if any magical effect has been in, or is that not something I can do?
Okay. Give me an Arcana check.
Okie dokie. Unless Ailey wants to do that instead, if I tell her.
Ailey is currently over doing her sacred territory over Nuh's body.
Well, could you bring him to the sacred territory and it might help? It might buff up any attempts to find out what's up.
Okay, I did get a 17, but I can do that.
Okay, a 17. Well, if you, I won't make any difference because the sacred territory would highlight magical objects. I don't believe it highlights magical effects. Yeah, you don't know what's going on with Zurab at all. Something has knocked out his memory. Sometimes that's a bump on the head, but your knowledge is just simply too limited here to have any kind of real understanding on a 17. I know that's still a decent check, but yeah, you're not particularly sure.
I want to tell Taylor too and just be like, he's pretty fucked up.
Shannon, I couldn't tell what that was saying, but I think that was some kind of encouragement.
I'm pretty sure.
Sure.
I'm pretty sure she said he's pretty fucked up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry. This entire thing is going to be everyone interpreting for everyone else. Sure. Anyway.
I relay what has happened.
Okay. This moment passes. Zurab seems to be okay, at least in terms of immediate health. And Barney begins to relay the events of what happened when the rest of you kind of stopped being able to get close to Moda Rayfort's marquee.
To be clear, what did Northgol turn out to actually be?
Well, just to run through the events, I mean, because they haven't made any vocal instructions at least yet. I mean, you talk about kind of getting to the edge of this thing, seeing this strange field around it. Ailey, you recall Nuh pointing this out to you earlier this night, kind of when you were both on the roof. They kind of showed you the rim of this thing, this area that when you got close, Nuh revealed kind of meant that he couldn't get close due to, it would sense his magics, as it were. Talk about using flashbangs, distracting the guards, then being pulled off. A few strokes of luck helping you get through, cutting your way into the back of this thing, and taking this icosahedron, this source of this area, preventing Nuh from getting in, from taking that out from inside the brazier. They talk about kind of wrenching this thing open, extinguishing the flames in it, just hang it back up with a big kind of rent in its side. Talk about this this strange icosahedron object you pull out kind of unfolding just to become a flat thing, which Barney still has on his person. Perhaps he'll show you at this time. You just see these kind of limply hanging connection of triangles that you can see could roll up into a 20-sided shape. And Nuh coming in, noises waking Moda Rayfort, and then there being a kind of sudden, intense flashing. And when you kind of uncovered your eyes, Zurab and Barnlek saw Nuh whispering things in the ear of Moda, who seemed to be in this kind of stunned, catatonic state. And after things were wrapping up, because Moda had asked for River, her bodyguard, to come in because the light had gone out. She wasn't sure what's going on. Moda did come in. You did battle. You knocked her out, and Nuh used some magic to recover her wounds after Zurab dealt her some fairly grisly blows, and used some similar flashing thing upon River. And I'm going to roll an intelligence check here. Barney, you think you kind of clock perhaps that flashing ties to the moment Zurab's memory got fucked. Nuh used this flashing upon River, and then suddenly Zurab could not remember this entire day. And you would probably be able to infer that the flashing that you covered your eyes over that he did to Moda might be the same device. Then you talk about leaving, sneaking out of this place, leaving River behind, and coming back here with the corpse of Nuh, who Barney will relay, kind of clasped to you, and you saw in his eyes that he, had a kind of almost a kind of creepy calmness to him while his throat was crushed and he was dying. And actually, I will say with you do see his throat is slowly kind of recovering. It's no longer kind of at this kind of horrible, uncomfortable angle. It's slowly kind of come back into place. Those are the things you relay. I think that more or less covers everything.
So he did some magic and brought some message to the lady of this whole garrison? Is that correct? I can only hope he succeeded in his actual goal. Possibly we should leave here. We should be concerned of some reprisal if she connects the interference with this village and with us.
If he comes back.
Leishan, I've got these strangest, I don't know, suspicion that I feel like we should have picked up the other body. I mean, I can barely remember anything apart from dropping the body, but I feel like we probably should have taken that with us.
We should go back for the body.
You agree? You have the same impression as me then. Very odd, don't you think? It niggles away in the back of my mind. I cannot tell what it is.
I said to do that.
Zurab, you seem to have been cursed. Where did you leave the body?
What?
This is important.
Do I remember? I should remember.
Yeah, you should remember. I mean, your memory
That was after I got zapped.
You got to kind of the area that's around where Ailey reached, but this place was kind of heavily guarded. You got to kind of a little less than midway through infiltrating with this place where you dropped off River's body.
No problem to get it back. It's just, back in the camp with all the guards who almost certainly have now discovered the large fight situation that was going on. So trip back over there, grab the body, and off we go. We'll be fine.
You left... Did you leave the body near the fight or elsewhere?
Like halfway back.
I could try to fetch her. I have a letter of introduction. I could use it to try to get back in.
You
strong
don't
enough to carry a body on your own.
Yeah, I mean, I will say here that Jirab, you dropped River because she is incredibly heavy, and your strength was not up to the task.
She was incredibly heavy. I don't think you could manage her on your own.
It might require two people. Fairly hard.
Could we carry her between us?
Maybe.
I could. I'm quite strong.
That could work.
Yeah, the camel person can take her. Probably best. Very good at carrying bodies.
Just pretend to be your assistant.
Yes, though it contrasts with my existing stories.
It is very late right now, by the way. The only people who should be awake at the tent grounds will be the night watch.
Famously friendly folk, of course. There is another solution, of course. I could perform a spell.
What sort of spell?
It would be a considerable intervention, and it might not succeed. Regardless, we should not be near here when I attempt it. The repercussions could be considerable.
Fuckload of demons by any chance?
Oh no, it would just be one.
I think.
Just the one demon.
Maybe a few more details.
So I think Ailey doesn't quite know the specifics. She knows that she can plea for intercession. I think do you think that's fair, Liam?
You have, I would say, you have a perhaps slightly mythologized idea of what will happen. That, at least in this instance, may be kind of fairly close to the actual truth of what will happen. You have the religious understanding of it. I'll say as much.
I will summon a spirit to pursue a single-minded goal.
Sam, can I ask, what is Barnalek's reasoning towards trying to get the body of River back? And I will say, Harry, Gerard will recognise this as the body of River. You knew River for 5 years. You didn't lose memory of her when the flash went off because you knew her.
Yeah, I thought didn't I say her name?
Sorry, no, I'm just making sure. Just letting you know. Just in case.
Yeah.
I felt we should take because I have no idea why else he would have stabbed her.
Sure.
I thought we should take her from the beginning.
Okay. Yeah, you
did. Healed.
You said as such to Jirab to carry her body, but he just didn't have the strength at the time. Yeah. So.
I should warn you.
Yeah, they
of
have
course, my solution will be dramatic and possibly destructive.
I will note. You have relayed that Jirab basically put a revolver to this person's mouth and pulled the trigger, and some magic that Nuh used did seem to repair her face out of the wounds. So I think you remark Barney and Jirab. You might have skipped over it slightly previously, but you will remark upon the kind of the miraculous healing properties of this. But yeah. Just to make
so
sure
I think
I have a question.
Yeah, what's up?
Go on.
So what's the general sense perception of demons in this setting? Like, A, do people think they exist? And B, if they do think they exist, they're generally seen as a bad thing, right?
Sorry, I didn't catch the last end of that challenge.
So the questions were, if I understand them right, what do we think about the existence of demons? What kind of beliefs do we have about their reality? And what are the stigma associated with them? Are they considered to be bad?
Yeah, so yes, all of you will believe in demons. At least in the kind of the sense of you will have heard stories about them. I'm using demon as a kind of broad strokes meaning to to kind of infer like violent, kind of mystical entities, spirits, those kind of things.
They're powerful and unknowable creatures with strange and often callous or hostile attitudes towards the living.
Very well. Yeah, you can have inspiration for that very succinct description, Grace.
Good. I have inspiration now. Thank you.
Okay.
Haley, do you think you can control it?
I intend to. It will be a battle.
Can you?
It will be a battle, and I have my allies in that struggle.
I trust you. Let's do it.
Addition, I think it's possible we are overcomplicating this. I think, I could probably sneak back in. One other person with a bit of luck could also, sneak with me. You're not as sneaky as me, but you're, you can be sneaky when you try. What am I doing? What am I talking about? What is this?
I would relish a chance not to do battle with the spirits. If you have any alternative solution,
yes, I am also not particularly keen on a spirit battle. So if anyone wants to join me on the sneaking expedition,
who's the most sneaky?
Me.
Well, I have a letter that will simply allow me entry.
Yes, but you don't think they might connect you with the recent, death and fighting sort of problems?
I do want to note as well, Grace, Ailey will have had to have broken the wax seals upon these things to read them.
Oh yeah.
Which is.
I'm relying on people not realizing that, like that it was previously sealed.
Sure.
Because I have to use this letter more than once, right? I can't just be like.
Have you removed the wax where it has been broken in half? Have you removed the two halves of it from these things?
I think I removed the seal and tried to keep it whole if I could.
Oh, okay.
I'm willing to make a retroactive check on that.
Yeah, can you give me a retroactive, two retroactive sleight of hands? We'll say first for the letter of introduction and the second for the.
Oh, I don't care about the one to Dwarenish.
Okay.
I only care about the.
Sure.
So this is for the introduction,
and this is actually fairly okay. Sure. Go ahead. What you get? I was going to say roll in the special teal dice thing because I want everyone to see the roll, but it doesn't matter.
I got a 14.
14. I don't think 14 is going to cut it. I think you chip off an obvious chunk of this wax seal as you pop it off.
Mm-hmm. I'm fine with that. I think Ailey believes that while the seal itself is a thing to be possibly used or like understood, I think she doesn't care about preserving the impression of it not having been read because she thinks that a lot of people have to read this for it to be useful.
Okay.
So I have this letter, but I don't think I can help you get the body out.
I'd like to stay with Nook, but I think I can make you guys sneakier. My magic hands.
What powers does Shannon have to make us sneakier?
I've got enhanced ability, baby.
Oh, that is nice.
Yeah. So abilities, I'll enhance them.
So, are we going with Zurab and Barney trying to sneak in and grab the body? Or what?
I am. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, let's.
Okay.
This is clearly the safest plan, and we can just run. Ours are difficult.
We did so well last time.
Everything went so well.
It's a much
couldn't go badly twice in a row, could it?
That would be the gambler's fallacy.
Okay. Shannon, who does Corellia use enhanced ability on?
I have enough spell slots to use it on 2 of them.
Oh, using it at level.
So who's? I'm going to assume it's going to be Barney and Ailey. Yeah.
I think it's Barney and Zurab who are sneaking in, right? Or Ailey's not sneaking in, is she?
I think my feeling is that it would be easier if Zurab and Barney went for it because I am not stealthy. As long as.
Cool. Okay, so you close your eyes and reach out and place a hand on both Barnlect and Zurab, and you kind of rev up their vim, get it to pump faster, move.
While muttering the word sneaky under my breath over and over.
Yes. You two
Can we get some
feel a
Corellia
certain
ASMR?
amount of kind of, you feel your joints get looser, your movements a bit
With this
faster.
audio.
So, do you two want to now give me... I'm just going to quickly roll. How long do we think you've been here? I'm going to say it's got to be at least 30 minutes. So I'm going to do investigation checks for the... for Moda Rayfort and her surrounding retinue. To see if
Start chanting sneaky a lot louder.
Okay. So, you two, Barnlect and Zurab, do you want to give me your first round of stealth checks as you begin to come to the periphery of this place and try to sneak in? It's pitch black out now. I mean, there's, as I said previously in the previous session, the moon is just barely waxing from being a new moon, so there's very, very little light out. So, actually, first of all, I'm going to have you make, at this point, as you're trying to sneak into the place, I'm going to have you make dexterity saving throws to avoid kind of tripping over things with someone in the dark, given how dark it's now gotten. So can you both give me dexterity saving throws, and then we'll go from there. Someone's hitting their keyboard a little loud. Could they mute their mic while they're doing that? That might be Grace.
Oh, that's...
Sorry. So, Sam and
Only
Harry,
got
what do you get?
21.
Got 21 and 19 for dexterity.
Okay, you're doing these on advantage, by the way, because I believe, right? Shannon, is it advantage on all dex saving throws and skill checks, or is it just skill checks? I can't remember.
I think it's ability check.
Advantage on dexterity checks, all dexterity checks, and they don't take damage if they fall from 20 feet. So feel free to jump off buildings, guys.
But not saving throws, then. Sorry, I just want to be clear on this.
I did them on advantage. I got 19 for dexterity and 21 for stealth.
Okay.
Yeah, I got 20 for dexterity. Sorry, no, not 20. 23 for dexterity and 25 for stealth.
Okay, cool. I just want to be clear from now on. I'm just going to quickly check the rules on it. I think it is you're only making the stealth checks on advantage, not the dexterity saving throws. But rather than redo them,
Okay.
we'll carry on. I'll quickly check the ruling on enhanced ability. But
It just says dexterity checks. I'm not sure.
yeah,
what
so
that.
checks. It won't apply to saving throws.
I think there's something else we should do. We should be ready to leave in case things go bad.
Okay.
So I propose that Lox carries Nock, and Corellia and I wait with Lox, ready to get away from here if the whole camp erupts in fury and agitation.
Okay. I'm going to say at this point, because you've both rolled, Barnlect and Zurab have already slunk off into the night. But Lox kind of picks herself up, groans in pain slightly, and slings Nuh over her bruised shoulder. So, Zurab and Barnlect, just remind me your stealth checks again. Barnlect got
21.
21, and Zurab got 25.
That's a 25.
Very nice.
Can talk.
Yeah, I can
Okay.
actually, can't I?
Given the relative darkness of the periphery of the camp, it's not particularly hard to sneak in, and you can kind of see that there's not too many guards here. The presence of sleeping soldiers is kind of its own deterrent for any kind of large-scale attack. These people are fairly well disciplined and will be able to kind of wake up and be at it not too slowly. But as you begin to approach the kind of middle ring of this place, you can see there is definitely a significantly increased guard presence, such that it would be incredibly difficult to sleep in. Zurab, at your current ability in the darkness, you think you could just about slip in, but Barnlect is missing a few too many things and keeping his neck poked out a bit too long. at the current level he's going at, you think he would get seen. There's a definite increased presence that's kind of shored up, essentially a kind of a wall around basically all the important figures here. And I'm just going to roll some perception for you. Okay, and Zurab, you note that you catch on the breeze sounds of voices and perhaps the kind of distant lights of movements. Harry's picture's just gone frozen though, so we may have lost him.
Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, we can hear you.
See that my picture's frozen as well.
But
wait,
yeah, your picture is you frozen. Oh, there we go. There we go. You're back. You, Zurab, catch on the breeze the sounds of raised voices, and you can kind of see the movement of torches held by small groups of soldiers moving around, and you think a level of alarm has been raised. You don't see any drawn swords, but suspicions, for sure.
Does it look like? Do I need to get through them to get? Can I?
Yeah, you are not close enough to where you left River right now. You need to get past.
To be clear, I can't carry the body on my own.
No, you don't think so. You have to do a very good strength check over an extended period. So be very
Set a fire somewhere.
Rough estimate of how many guards there are.
Rough.
I mean,
shut up, Sam.
more than you can fight, if that's what you're asking.
No, I mean, like, are we talking 10, 30, 100?
Do you mean in total awake?
What?
Do you mean it? Okay, so there are 2,000
No, I can
soldiers
see it.
here.
Is it like a fucking crowd milling around, or is it like a big hand?
It's a bit of a montage. Like you're probing the defenses of this place. You maybe have spied a few, but you'll have getting to the edge of this thing. Maybe I'll say you'll have seen maybe 30, 40 guards, kind of just on the sides. You're kind of probing around, trying to find kind of porous parts of their defenses and looking beyond. So you can definitely note a significantly increased presence.
Yes, I don't think we are going to get through that. I really desperately do not want to do whatever bizarre magical shit was proposed earlier, but I think at this point it might be our only option.
Sorry, Shannon, did you want to say something?
It's clapping time, by the way.
Oh, it's clapping
time. Actually, should we do our break? That way we can try and fix stuff and do clapping and stuff.
Sure. Okay, everyone stick around. We'll be back in about 10 minutes. See you soon. And we're back. Everything, I think, has gone wrong. Excuse me, everyone. This is all going completely wrong. I've got to quickly swap some of these things around. So that goes there. God, this is just truly good content, isn't it? That's Sam.
I'm Vanessa.
I bring some bad vibes, but just as we went live again, my connection went all wobbly. So it's a bad omen.
No, it's mine as well.
All right.
No, I think that was my fault.
All right, we're fixed up.
I think that was my fault.
Okay.
All right.
Well, you're all coming through good for me, at least. Everything's fixed now. Everyone who's watching, sorry. With Shannon and Sam, their internet connection is not quite good enough, so they're just switching to audio so we can at least hear them clearly. Sorry about this. You'll have to, look forward to hopefully the next episode when we can see their lovely mugs again. Anyway, should we get back to it? So, Zurab and Barnlect, you have snuck around at the periphery of these tent grounds. You're probing kind of where the guards are, but it seems like there's a lot of groups moving around. A lot of watch have been called out. You think that some level of suspicion has been raised, but not a full-on alarm yet. At least Zurab can tell that looking at these people, because I rolled a natural 20 for him on his perception. You think it's going to be fairly difficult from here on out to try to get any closer, but you can certainly try. What is it you're going to do?
Are we back in the room? Sorry.
No. You have infiltrated through some of these tents. You've gone beyond the periphery of the tent ground. So you're gonna have to try to sneak out or sneak further in.
I think we both decided we were gonna sneak out and let loose the demons.
Yeah.
Okay, you're going.
I think that was very much the consensus, wasn't it?
Yeah, we agreed.
I don't know if the nuclear option was necessarily the consensus, but you're free.
The nuclear option is fucking happening.
Okay, all right, fine. Sure. Okay, I'm just trying to do some math in my head here. So you need to now try to sneak out of this place. Can you first give me dexterity saving throws? You're not doing these on advantage because you're moving through walls of darkness. And then can you give me stealth checks after that? And tell me what you get for these saving throws.
Sorry, 2 secs. Did you hear the alarm going off then?
Are the stealth checks still on advantage?
Yeah, well, we're doing the... Well, let's see first. What do you get for this?
Sorry?
Are you just rolling the 1 die for the dexterity saving throw, Harry? I want to be clear here.
Yeah, the dexterity one I got a 4.
Okay.
plus 6, so 10.
You're stumbling in the dark. Sorry, and Sam?
Dirty 20.
You got a dirty 20. Okay. Yeah. You're doing okay. You can make your stealth check on advantage still, but Harry, because you are struggling to navigate in this darkness, you're making this stealth check just straight, just 1 roll.
Oh, I did it on advantage. Do I take which one? Do I do it again, or do I take the first dice? That was a 14 plus 6, so
okay,
dirty
20. And Sam, what do you get?
22, like Taylor
22.
Swift.
Okay, you both exfiltrate out of the tent grounds, and I believe the rest of you were kind of moving out. Lox is carrying the body of Nuh. Assumedly, you've woken up and unmoored these giant monitor lizards you're using as pack animals. You've kind of woken them up. They seem slightly annoyed being woken up in the middle of the night. But from the darkness, you hear kind of a faint clatter of stones. You turn around, slightly nervous, and you see Zurab and Barnlake emerge from the darkness.
Hello!
Where's the body?
That's the thing. We couldn't actually get the body because they've really ramped up security.
Indeed.
Yes, it would have been practically suicide going in there. I mean, possible that I could have got in, but then we would need 2 to carry the body, and yeah, no chance. So I think, unfortunately, the sort of mystical and threatening stuff that you were discussing earlier, to me, I think it sounds like that's going to have to happen.
Myself and Jurab said that we should unleash the demon.
Can you two give me wisdom saving throws, please?
Wisdom saving? Why?
Wisdom saving throws. Is this like saving against a terrible idea?
It's saving against like just being like jovial about demons and like warriors.
Well, I don't know. It's demons. She was just like
I said a spirit.
Sinister mystical things.
I got a 10.
I am rolling very well.
What did Barnlake get?
23.
23. Okay. I mean, you both can kind of recall. I mean, you've been told enough stories of demons, like killing people's livestock, taking away their children, those kind of things. I just want you to have a sense of gravity towards being like, oh yeah, just use mystical evil stuff. It's all cool. Might be slightly abstract from or slightly different to how these things will have been discussed in the world around you. You're free to still act like this if you wish. I just want your characters to be wary of these kind of things. Yeah.
I think Corellia might have. Espers are kind of treated in the same way, right? Like, watch out, or an Esper will get you. So I think she's pretty pro-demon.
Well, that's not necessarily
being an Esper.
I mean, you've met at least a couple of people already who are both like, oh, you're an Esper, whatever. Like, a lot of Espers, like, a modicum of psychic ability is not considered to be particularly outlandish. But kind of a very powerful Esper might get kind of mythologized or venerated into kind of having a kind of semi-mythical people having a semi-mythical view of them. Does that make sense? Cool. So you have reconvened. The lizards have been woken up. Someone just rolled the dice.
Then it is my turn to risk death.
Can I calm the lizards?
Can you what the lizards?
Calm them.
Calm them. Yeah, sure. Give me an animal handling check.
Okay. It's the important things, really, that we're... animal handling check. +7. It's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay, you calm these things down. As I said before, you know where to scratch them under the chin. They, make their kind of calming, like, kind of noises. You think you know how to, you could get these creatures moving, really, however you please, even though they're slightly, disgruntled from being woken up in the middle of the night. Anyway, are we now going over to Ailey? Oh my god.
I believe we are.
Okay. Do you want to make your mantra saving throws inside the teal roller so we can see?
I have joined the thing so that we can do it.
Brilliant.
Legitimately.
Brilliant. Okay. Let me just quickly get up your rules because I'm trying to remember how to do these. Right. Do you want to begin? Do you want to do the first check then?
Yes. But first, I'm going to arrange for my companions to go to a safe distance.
Okay.
And I'm going to go to as near to the camp as I feel I can safely go without risk of detection.
Are you moving in the dark away from where they are now, or is the rest of the group moving onto the road away from you?
Kind of both.
Okay.
All
right.
So I think they should be on the road, and I want to move. What I would prefer is a low hilltop of which I can see the camp, because I would like to have as specific a target and direction as possible.
Okay.
For the beast.
Right. Okay.
But also, I would like to question Zurab and exactly where he left the body, because I think that the clearer the instruction, the safer you are with these creatures.
Harry, can you give me let's just say a straight intelligence check to both remember and relay instructions? Four. Zurab ballparks the area. He kind of points out, so you can kind of see him next to the lights, and goes, I think it was over there somewhere. You get the sense he doesn't quite really know. I mean, Zurab was very disoriented when he kind of came to in the marquee, had to suddenly pick up this body, move out, slip through. You're kind of making things up as you go along. You didn't know the way you were going. You don't know if Zurab doesn't particularly know off the top of his head exactly where River's body is. He just has a vague idea of where it is within this place. Sure.
Do I at least have an idea about which part of the camp it's in?
Yeah, you could guess kind of the quadrant. Which kind of within which area within a few minutes it might be in.
Okay.
Okay.
And moreover, how do I think I have a description of this creature of the body that I think would be recognizable to the creature I would summon?
You don't know if you're going to have that much precise control, but it's I mean, Zurab can relay the appearance of River to you. Kaloa, red-skinned, has these horns, has a tail, humanoid, black hair, those kind of things.
The last thing I would say is, Zurab, it may be wise if you accompany the being I will summon. Because, frankly, your instructions have been abysmal.
Zurab on a Wisdom 10 is now, I think you are starting to feel like the nervousness crawl up your back. Like, Ailey is looking at you with eyes that are like perfectly certain about wrenching something from some place beyond and bringing it here.
I'm going to bind it in flesh.
Zurab, yes, you're getting very afraid.
You haven't ever clarified what short of being. What should I be expecting?
I'm going to summon a spirit from the higher plane the thin one.
Yes, spirit.
I'm going to
higher
bind it in
plane.
flesh against its will, invoking the names of great powers that I serve. And then I will direct it to serve my ends, which it will present.
I am absolutely not going to take that thing into the camp. Why can't it go on and show? It sounds perfectly
Because you have
capable.
told me nothing with which
It's over there. I told you. Look, I pointed it quite clearly. It is, in that direction. She looks like this, and I describe her. You can't finish it. Lying on the ground, small pool of blood, but nonetheless, very recognizable.
If this fails, Zurab, we are all at risk.
Maybe the camel could go with it. He has
go
an affinity with beings.
Skills of stealth, while the beast causes you opportunity.
All right, and I'm going to carry the body back.
I believe the creature will be able to carry such a body.
Excellent.
You just have to find the thing. That corpse.
Okay. I've been rolling very badly this game, by the way.
I don't care, Zurab.
I want everyone on fucking
Go back to the fucking camp,
stations.
Zurab.
Okay.
Do you think I've been persuaded by that?
It's entirely up to you. On your wisdom 10, you are bricking yourself. This is like all of your instincts are screaming at you that this is a terrible idea and you should run away and possibly leave Ailey here in the dark, because her eyes have a certain certainty behind them while talking about binding other things in flesh. That is genuinely cutting into your psyche and setting your nerves on edge.
I think the one thing that might convince him was the backhanded flattery about how good at sneaking he was.
So I might lean on the fact that we need Zurab's specific knowledge and significant skill to succeed.
This is slightly pedantic. I just want to add just a slight note here, just in case Zurab was slightly confused. When Zurab put down River, her wounds were completely stitched up. There was no mark upon her at all, so she wasn't in a pool of blood or anything. Just want to make sure. I know that
maybe I meant the clothes had blood on them or something.
Just in case that was put for flavour and you don't think she might be bleeding to death or something. I just want.
Yeah, no, that was just me trying to make a sentence run on.
Just playing it safe, so I'm not unfair later. Right, what are you doing? You got to tell me.
I'm gonna go along with it, I think.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh boy.
Here we go. Right.
I just want to remind you that you do still have advantage on dexterity checks,
Yes,
so you still do have advantage on stuff.
You do.
So my idea was to have the creature cause maximum chaos and destruction.
Goddamn.
And Zurab fetch the body, but the body is heavy. Okay. So, what is the solution there? Could you two go back in together under cover of chaos? Is that a possibility?
Can I ask a couple of things here? One is Ailey in the neurological sense psychopathic? Do you have any reservations about killing people?
My position is that Ailey serves a great power that she terribly fears to disobey, that kind of grounds her worldview of morality and purpose.
All right.
She is a combination of desperate and extremely dedicated.
Okay, then that answers my second question as well. Okay, cool.
Okay. So I think she doesn't like hurting people, but she doesn't really have a problem with it.
Absolutely.
When she has to.
I just wanted to make sure, because, in case otherwise I would make you make wisdom saving throws, but that's a narrative justification. That's fine. Okay, so is it just Zurab now slinking into the dark, or are you trying to get Barnleg to join you as well?
So I think Ailey hadn't planned for the corpse being heavy. So, the demon distraction will carry it, but not both, I think.
Sure. I mean, you tell me if you're going back to try to get Barnleg to join you or something.
I'd imagine this conversation was being had just before we separated.
Okay, sure then. Okay. So Sam is.
To be clear, I want everyone as close to the camp as they can possibly go without needing to sneak, so that when I inevitably get horribly wounded, they can help me as soon as fucking possible.
Being at the road is essentially. I mean, the camp starts pretty much only like a minute after where you are domiciled currently. This squat building that's basically just a block of stone and clay. So it's you being on the road is essentially being as close as you can be without being noticeable. It's midnight. You're getting very tired. Like, this might start to take a taxation upon your bodies to continue to do like high octane things here. I just want you to be conscious of that. Anyway,
we want this body before it goes missing. Someone finds it.
But Sam,
what if they found it?
You tell me if Barnlect is going or not.
Odd. What would I do?
Sneak along with Zurab and help move the body.
He couldn't do it alone, Barney. He needs you.
I know, but I'm terrible with the sneaking.
Nishan, my camel friend, you and I have grown close, sure, in recent days.
We've been through a lot together.
Exactly. I make these japes and jabs at you, but it is all in good fun, and I would very much like it to not be me going alone with the entity clothed in flesh.
Chained in flesh.
Yes, in flesh into the
Some might say bound.
But we don't even know if they bound. We don't even know if they. If the person that we were supposed to take is still there.
No.
That's why we need you, Barney.
He's probably been moved.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently my directions were so bad that it probably doesn't matter if it's been moved. I think at this point it's our only option.
Oh boy. Oh
Shannon,
boy.
what's Cordelia thinking here? Shannon?
Sorry?
What's Corellia
What am I thinking?
Yeah, I mean, you are here, you're looking at Ailey talking about chaining a demon in flesh. Zurab, you can see, like, the sweat on his brow growing. He's clearly very, very, very scared about this whole thing. Does Corellia have any input? Lox is kind of hurt. Maybe Barney will notice that she's looking with eyes of concern, but holding her tongue for now.
I say, look, this is all pretty fucking terrifying, but Ailey is the strongest one of us, and I think if she believes we can do it, we can do it. And I'll be here, helping you to be sneaky along the way, I promise.
I have a question, just a question for the team. Do you think this is a good idea?
Yes,
I think it'll make for great TV.
We'll make for great TV audio for me and Shannon.
Perhaps in response to Corellia's words, I think maybe just Corellia and Barney will hear Lux say under her breath, maybe, could is not the same as should, and is trying to get Nook's body to kind of stay on top of these lizards. Otherwise,
snaps. Oh boy, it's gonna make for good TV. If we all die, it'll be over. And so, look at Liam shaking his head.
I was just like, for good TV.
Gotta give the people what they want.
I mean,
what do you think, chat? Should they go?
Yeah. What do the spirits of the ancestors say? Anyway, I need you as players to decide what you're doing. Barnlect seems a bit nervous. Sam, you need to make a decision.
Urashi just said the most incredible pun, by the way, which is good.
Yeah, I know.
Phenomenal.
I'm just trying to move this along because we're already like an hour and a half in and not huge.
For that reason, I'm in.
Oh god. Okay, cool. So Zurab and Barnlect steal into the night. Ailey, you find a hilltop eventually, searching in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
The range of the spell you're using is what?
I suspect it differs depending on if I succeed or not.
It's only 60 feet. I believe you're picking where you're aiming it for, and then you might get a penalty.
Yes. Yes, that's correct.
Okay. So you need to be. It's within 60 feet. You can target this thing to appear. So yeah, where are you going to?
So here's the question: do I need to address it with my voice to command it?
Yes, you do need to speak. It's mantra.
And I'll summon it directly in front of me.
Okay.
Listen,
yes,
if you're gonna die, you're gonna die, right?
Like, full in. Yes, fine. It. Let's do it. TPK. Here we go. Come on.
Yeah.
You are going to summon the giant monster in front of me now.
Zurab, you're not present. You're elsewhere.
Zurab and Barnett have gone to the night.
I've gone to a private hilltop where I can see the stars, which would be a good place to die.
Okay. Can you give me the first mantra saving throw, please?
I would love to. And does it use my ability score in any way, or is it just a flat 20?
On each turn, roll a 20 and add your wisdom modifier.
Oof, that's a little better. Okay.
Go, baby.
First roll
22.
22. Begin the mantra. Do you want to narrate what you do, or shall I, Grace?
I think Ailey sits cross-legged. Does she sit? Yeah, she starts cross-legged. She holds the staff in front of her in two hands, and she just sings to it. And she sings protocols and coordinates and calibrations, addresses and passwords and commands. And the rings that crowd the end of the staff begin to move of their own accord. They rotate, they swing around or hover as if the staff is held at some other angle, and they jingle softly.
Cool. Do you want to give me the second roll?
I will. A 17.
You continue your mantra. It begins to rise slightly in cadence, and as you do so, the rings at the end of your staff respond, and as they begin to become more agitated, thin crackling lines of lightning begin to move between them. Can you give me the possibly last roll?
We can only hope.
Oh, jeez, that very lucky rolls there.
Flawless.
You come to the end of your mantra, and as you finish, the lightning that is happening just between these brass rings extends out and lashes into the ground. Like binding rope, it strikes the earth, and the stone and soil rumbles and gouges itself as if consumed by an invisible force. And as this lightning strikes where the earth is drawn away, a strange dark flesh begins to knit itself together. One shiny and metallic, like an insect's carapace, begins to form. Legs and a hulking torso, and strange and twisted limbs and a head. And as this lightning pours forth from your rod and renders this thing into the real, into the thick world, skeleton-like armor forms across its form. This horrible amalgam that is like part insect and part strange, twisted form of a corpse appears before you. This thing is hulking. Given how well you did on your mantra scores, I'm going to say that Ailey's mind is in perfect zen. You don't have to make wisdom saving throws, but Barnlect and Zurab in the dark, who see this lightning striking and this thing rising from the earth, can you go give me wisdom saving throws?
I think I did deliberately go as far, like a safe distance away.
Yes, they can still see it happening. Lightning striking the earth is being summoned, and they, because you didn't specify you've gone all the way around to the other side or anything, this is still visible to you. So can you give me wisdom saving throws?
21.
Sorry, Zurab got 21 and Sam got, Barnlect got
19.
19. God, these insanely good rolls. Okay, this thing apparates into the reel, and both of you kind of seize up. You feel your heart leap into your throat, but you swallow it back down and control yourself. this thing has arisen in the dark, and you briefly see Ailey sitting there, illuminated, perfect meditation.
I'm serene in the light it throws.
Yes.
This is ridiculous.
And you perhaps think for a moment that Ailey and that staff and the things that are wrought from it have been with you this entire time. It's like you've been sitting on a nuclear bomb and you didn't even realise.
Fucking terrifying.
What command does Ailey issue the demon? And bearing in mind, this is only just the start of the fun here, because I think this thing is going to battle you for control fairly soon, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. I say to it, you know me, and you know who I serve. The steward of the inheritors of the true kin. Go now unto those people, cause them consternation and distress. Preserve these two. Their lives are important, and aid them in the commands they give you to find and carry away from here a body. Harm no one outside the walls of this encampment.
Oh boy.
Its strange, twisted, almost skeleton-like face only has eyes on one side, 9 tiny black gems set in its skull-like head that you see swivel and tinkle in the dark, drawing in information. Do you want to give... I think it's best for us to roll initiative now for everyone. I'm going to roll initiative for the demon.
But you can say for myself.
For myself. Let's make some rolls. What have we got?
+2.
Got a 16. God, I wish I had magic music for this. What does Jurab and Barnlect and Ailey get?
17.
Okay.
16.
God, great rolls. It's very annoying.
Yeah. It'll run out soon.
And Grace, what did Ailey get?
14.
14. Okay, you've issued your command to the demon. Barnlect and Jurab, you begin to slink towards this camp, keeping your nerves level. Are you going to wait for this thing to try to kind of roll in and strike this place before you start actually sneaking in, or what?
I think that would be wise. You, Jurab?
Sorry, I was nodding my head. Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah, excellent.
You do catch on the breeze the distant sounds of cries rising from the camp. You think perhaps some people may have seen this thing on the hillside raised above. It's the demon's turn. So, Grace, do you want to command what the demon does? I think you have the stat block for it, or shall I? Interpreting your instructions.
So I think it would be more realistic if you commanded it.
Sure.
Yeah. I will issue it verbal commands, but in general, I think it should be beyond the control of the players, given how unknowable it is.
Okay. This thing kind of turns around. Its 9 eyes absorb the information from the environment, and then it kind of moves itself, aligns towards the camp, and then begins to move at this slightly startling pace. This thing is faster than a person. And moves with all 4 of its limbs as it begins to tear towards the camp. I'm going to say that it does an action and a dash to move itself as close to the camp as possible, giving you someone next to you. It's the end of its turn, so it's going now to try to resist your control. Are you recognised as true kin? I can't remember.
I believe if I wield the staff, I speak as if with the voice of the true kin.
Okay, I might just quickly check that in a moment. For now, it's going to make an intelligence saving throw. And what's your DC?
The DC uses the staff's DC of 18.
Okay.
Oh, no, that's not true.
I believe it's
the staff's DC is 20, but the spell specifies 18.
18. Okay.
Hang on, is that right?
No,
Let me check.
That's right. I think we're not. I think it's your DC we're working against here.
That's marvelous and considerably lower.
What's the DC?
My DC is 15, so we may all die.
Excellent.
Okay.
We'd like to hear.
You are holding onto your rod, and you feel you have to kind of adjust your self for a moment as you feel something slide out of unalignment, and you kind of, with your mantra and your focus, bring them back in. This thing continues to be under your control.
Is this save a sort of? Is it? Though it's not in-game active, is it role-played as active? Am I wrestling with it psychically?
You are doing a concentration spell, so you are doing some things with the rod to maintain your concentration over this demon you've summoned. So that's Alien. I don't think Alien's doing anything else aside from maintaining her concentration on this hilltop, is she?
I'm not doing anything else, no.
This thing moves at this eerie speed towards the camp, and cries go up as it nears one of the tents. Barnlex, you see fires on torches begin to move in the camp. It might be time to move in now. Do you and Barnlex want to give me dexterity saving throws?
Let's do it, baby.
I'm going to say you have 10 minutes left, given how much you've been talking on the enhanced ability that Corellia gave you.
60.
So you're making this on advantage.
Yes.
Wait, the dex saving throw on advantage?
No, you're not. Actually, yeah, you're in the darkness. So yeah, both give me dexterity saving throws.
So
if you get a 15 and above, you're still making your stealth checks on advantage. Otherwise, you're just making a normal stealth check.
All right, guys.
16. My stealth is 22 again.
Rolled lower than goddamn 10.
Mine's 18.
18. Okay, you both begin to slip into camp. Eyes are away from you currently as this thing is moving in. We're going to, for now, alternate between just the demon and Barnett and Zurab, I think, because Grace is Ailey's just maintaining concentration on this thing.
I'm going to try and make an escape away from the camp. I don't want to be near it any more than I have to.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you don't need to be next to it to maintain concentration, actually. So, cries go up as you see this demon raise a lengthy limb to what appears to be just kind of like a collarbone and grab it and sort of peels it open to reveal an array of these black orbs that glow briefly, and then these beams of light fly and begin to strike the ground, igniting tents. Given the demon is attacking an army, I'm not going to really make attack rolls. Chances are they're hitting and killing someone, but there's 2,000 people here for them to kill. It's more going to be dealt with narratively, but these beams of light arc and bend in the night and descend like holy fire upon this place, and you see cries of pain and fear begin to rise from the camp as the soldiers here are mobilized. That's the end of its turn. It's now going to make an
beautifully described him.
Oof. What did you say that Ailey's DC is?
Oh no!
It's a 15.
15. It got the lowest it got was a 19 on its intelligence saving throw.
Fuck.
This thing unleashes its...
Am I the nearest non-demon creature?
No, you're not. You've
That's
moved
fine,
away a bit. It's now closer to soldiers than it is to you. But this may mean that Zurab and Barnlex get caught up in this conflict.
Yep.
Oh, good!
It just used...
It's no longer bound by me.
It just used its laser array. These beams descend, and as this complex new algorithm has to occupy Ailey's thought, as this thing starts to use means and magic beyond your understanding currently, your concentration is thrown, and it slips away. You feel the control over this thing break, and it is just a force loose upon the world. I'm just going to quickly...
You get it back?
Fuck no. How would I bind such a thing again?
That's why I asked the question.
It's entirely outside of my power to control.
Oh, sick one. Okay.
Oh, I might be able to stop it.
Okay, got to roll some
dice. If it was near me.
Did we make a plan beforehand in case you did lose control?
I don't think I warned you it was a possibility.
Okay.
Handy.
Yeah.
Zurab and Barnlex, do you want to give me stealth saving throws an advantage as you begin to race through this camp using these descending beams of searing light as a distraction?
Nice. Yeah, stealth. Rolled
20. A dirty 20.
Dirty 20. And sorry, what does Zurab get?
A 23.
23 and 20. Okay, you begin to move through this camp. At one point, when this beam of light strikes the ground, it is so bright when it connects with the earth and possibly someone that there is kind of a brief flash, and you can see through the tents around you. And perhaps as it strikes, you kind of briefly see into the tent where this beam of light has come down, and the spatter of blood prevents the permeability of the light there. Screams go up, you begin to see soldiers move, but off to an angle, and you begin to slip into this place. We now go to the demon.
And now,
meanwhile,
turns. As it begins to, with its giant... Actually, let's just see. I'm going to roll to see if it's... no, it doesn't regain its laser array. Its long limbs extend into talons that begin to rend through these tents. Some soldiers kind of stagger back and try to draw a sword, but are summarily crushed by a falling foot. But a lot of them are very quick to pour out. This is a very disciplined military, and even though this circumstance is horrifying, let's quickly make some saving throws for them. On a 16 and a 19, the vast majority of them are holding their nerve against this thing. As soldiers
I think it has a frightful sight of DC 18.
Yeah, but so on a 16, they rolled a 16 and a 19.
Sure.
So they will absolutely be, veteran soldiers will absolutely be beating that. Sorry. I mean, no, fair enough. But long pole arms are produced. You think these people are organising to fight this thing at a slightly worrying speed. Do Zurab and Barnet want to give me another set of stealth saving throws? Again, on advantage.
What boy do we?
Advantage. No, that went off the desk. Natural 20.
Natural 20. And what did Barnet get?
Got 12.
12. Okay. Let's just quickly roll.
Surely they'll be scared by the demon
they are
thing.
scared. They are scared, but you're getting advantage and they're getting disadvantage on perception checks because of it, which is more than a fair advantage. Zurab, you round a corner. Barnlect only a few paces behind you, but you hear a few cries go up. Hey, infiltrators! Barnlect, you lock eyes with a couple of soldiers who have noticed you and are pointing you out to their allies, as they did fairly well on their disadvantage perception check. Zurab has rounded the corner. You don't think they have any idea that Zurab is here as well. So they've only just noticed you. I will you could possibly, use that to your advantage if you want.
I just and say, I'm running from the demon.
Give me a performance or deception check. Your choice.
Okay. On advantage?
There is admittedly an actual demon.
Yes,
that must
advantage is fair. Advantage is fair.
It must be at least a low target number.
Yeah.
For performance or deception?
Your choice.
They're both 3 anyway, so it's an 18.
18. Okay. You stammer and panic using your own very real fear at this thing. They don't they don't clock any significance about you, even though you were here earlier. These two don't recognise you, nor your they don't really do the math of you being a dromad, possible merchant. One of them kind of waves you away. Get out of here! Run! That kind of effectively brings the end of the demon's turn. I rolled for how long it was going to be sticking around and rolled a 1, which means at the end of this turn, as soldiers come out and try to kind of circle this thing with spikes, it raises its arms to flatten a group of soldiers, and then lightning begins to fly off of it into the earth, and this thing begins to disassemble and dissipate and fade, and within a second, it is just
this is
some kind
the
of
worst
horrifying
possible
memory.
result that didn't actually kill me.
These things don't necessarily stick around for long. The demon disappears. Barnlect, are you going to go away? Are you going to walk away? I mean, these soldiers are still in view. They may not turn back as they've shooed you away to fight this demon that they haven't quite realised has disappeared yet. What does Barnlect do, Sam?
I sneak back. I sneak round the corner as well.
Okay, they see you try to do that. Soldiers are now pursuing you. Zurab, you know that Barlect has been noticed, and there are soldiers after him. On a natural 20 on stealth, I will allow you to break off from him if you wish, entirely, just to save your own skin, but otherwise you can move with him while he's pursued by soldiers.
Do I know where the body is?
No, you made an intelligence saving. You have an idea for an area, but you'll have to search within it in the hope that an unconscious river is still there.
Fuck my life.
Yes, no, and I haven't had a rest, so we could have done so well if I had these lucky rolls. But I don't have any left.
You've been rolling pretty lucky anyway. I mean,
yeah, it's true.
Harry, what is Zurab doing?
I don't know. Panicking. How far away are the soldiers?
Oh, they're like, like a few seconds behind. You are having to kind of dash through this place. You could try to hide somewhere and hope they go past, or you need to keep up the pace for them to not see you.
Can I grab Barnelect and like hide him under a rug and hide with him?
Okay. Sure. Give me. I'm going to allow you to do this because you're natural 20, which is like a whole separate stealth check. Both of you give me stealth checks.
Oh, not on advantage anymore, I'm assuming.
No. This would be on disadvantage of anything because a group of soldiers now searching for Barnelect.
I did badly enough anyway. That's a 14.
14.
Oh, I did quite well. I got 23.
14 and 23. Okay.
It's not a good okay.
You quickly, Barnelect, you begin to run. A hand reaches out and grabs you and wrenches you into an alley. And you are kind of hiding behind some crates, or hiding kind of like maybe within a crate you found open or something.
Okay, style.
As Zurab is trying to hold a hand over your mouth, and both of you kind of like lock eyes, trying to keep quiet.
A romantic moment.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Of course you were.
No, I think it's more of a Shaggy and Scooby moment of you like holding each other. As soldiers, you see them go in and out of tents and all about the place looking for you. Cries of kind of confusion and pain and tend to the wounded. Where's the priest? These cries go up around the place. A number of spear tips lower themselves at the mouth of your hiding place.
Oh,
you can hear
God.
Shouts of soldiers outside ordering you to step out or they will kill you.
How many is a number? A number is a lot, isn't it?
Five spear tips have been leveled at your entrance. You don't know how many that is in total. That's just how many are pointing weapons at you directly.
We gotta give ourselves up, man.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, I do. I would like to turn on the waterworks and be like the demon and
Okay.
That's my
Yes, is the beast gone?
Okay, they will say the beast is gone. Step out, thieves.
Can you trade on being a guy who worked with them before?
I don't know whether I'm going to know them. I'm currently hoping that they don't know me, so I can pretend I just got scared of the beast and was running around. I'm very simple shepherd.
Do both of you come out then, or not?
Yeah, we do.
We definitely have to.
Okay. You emerge to see an entire unit of soldiers from the tent surrounding have poured out to the sound of this noise, and enough of them are encircled to form a unit. Spear tips point at you, and as you step out, one of them from behind with the butt of their sword strikes both of you on the back of the head, and soldiers quickly move in to grab your arms, seize your weapons. Enough of them recognize guns to remove them off your person, Zurab, and with bleary eyes you are dragged into these tent grounds.
We have to stop going on adventures together.
Grace, can you give me a perception check from your place atop the hill?
Yes.
Odd. Damn it.
Good lord, what was this?
It was possibly the worst way this could have gone, except if I summoned it and immediately got eaten.
Yeah. That would.
We did it for the views.
Is this a perception check based on sight?
Yes.
Excellent. Then I have advantage.
Oh, good.
Woo! Roll loading.
If it's not rolling, just roll dice on your desk.
Dice roll. Yeah, dice roll thing is
okay. That's
having nice. A moment. On my table, I got a 23.
23. You are looking at this brief, intense moment of carnage, and the soldiers who have pulled out of their tents and are now trying to kind of get a handle on the situation, and kind of a lot of panic and confusion going on. And you see the differently coloured to the uniforms apparel of Zurab and Barnlect being dragged amongst a group of soldiers further into this place.
What do we think, pals?
I don't know, man.
Wondering if I have any edge on this. Liam, is there any cultural pull for priests and demon binding and unnatural events?
You mean as in, can you walk in and be like, hey, I'm the person who summoned the demon that just killed a bunch of soldiers?
The reverse. More like, hi, I'm a priest. I'm very interested in what looks like a sudden appearance of a demon. Can I help?
Oh,
Tell them that you banished the demon.
I think I'm a little slow for that, but it'd be pretty funny.
I'm trying to think. I mean, that's so like this whole thing has caught me off guard so much. Let's think. Okay, like binding of demons is something that like a particularly special wizard might do. So yeah. As a holy person, it's within the kind of the narrative remit. It's just a matter of being convincing enough. So yeah, I'd say it's possible. You were here earlier under different auspices.
That means that they know me, and that means they know who I am, and they might trust me. And now I'm saying I saw there was something.
Yeah. It's very much going to the lion's den, because it's also like they might do the maths of, oh, you were here, you have this magical thing. Maybe you're the person who creates the demons. It's a double-edged sword, that tactic. But you could try it. It's possible.
Well, it's that, or basically rely on Nook coming back to life and helping us with the solution. And he was more or less useless before.
Corellia, you have kind of seen flashes of lightning from a hilltop and heard cries in the distance, but haven't really seen this kind of... It's been fairly obscure to you. Can I ask, what's Corellia thinking, Shannon?
This is entirely out of her remit. She did not expect this. She believed that it would be a simple machine, and she's fucking terrified. She has been monitoring Nook's condition as much as she can, using her abilities without impeding the concentration she has on the spell.
Mm-hmm.
Which, has that ended, by the way?
It's getting towards ending, yeah.
And could I please use one of my psychic points to extend it for another hour?
I think you have to use that when you cast the spell. I'll say for now, yes, you can. But in the future, I believe you. I'll double check, but I believe you have to use it when you cast the spell.
Yeah, it does say when I cast it. It does, yeah.
Okay. I'll let you do that for now, this one time. But in the future, you're going to need to be doing that when you cast the spell. But yes, sure. Okay.
I would like to hasten back to Corellia and.
Yeah, Lox is like, what happened? Where's Barney?
The plan failed quite spectacularly. I'm going to go.
Lox's giant clawed hand is going to reach out and grab your throat. I just rolled athletics for her and acrobatics for you.
I don't defend.
Okay, she grabs you and is asserting some pressure. Where is Barney?
He's in the camp, and I'm going to go to him.
What is it you did? What did you do?
I used my powers, and I did battle. And I have not yet succeeded.
So confident.
Incredible.
Can you give me a persuasion check?
Okay.
But she's not wrong.
Do I have any edge because I'm referencing our previous conversation about exerting strength in different areas?
Yeah, I mean, this is part of her Lox's kind of I'm going to say no in this instance because Lox is digesting this in a sense of you use something that was a kind of dishonorable form of combat, and look where it's put my friend.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to say no.
Okay. Cool. I'm having trouble with the roller online.
Yeah,
so
it
I'm
seems
roll
to
here.
bust. So just roll on the desk.
I rolled 3, and I'm going to use my
Inspiration.
My inspiration, and that is a 16.
16. Okay.
16 with a bonus of nothing. 16.
She loosens her grip, but you can feel that like she's having to almost like force herself to do so. And with her hand still near your neck, she's going to say, "You are going to save my friend. I can't use words as a weapon like you do."
No, martial force will avail him nothing. It can only be nerve and raw spirit and what words I can muster.
She is going to add, "Make no mistake. Raw spirit and words that you can muster won't save you from me if my friend is lost because of you."
I can love Lox, man.
Lox, you did not see the creature that I sat before, serene though I could be crushed like a tiny doll. You may be angry, and I understand that, but I have larger fears. It is for my own honor and my own goals I pursue Barney, but do not threaten me. It is pointless.
She has no words for you. She just kind of turns around, pulls her sword, and just with a kind of slams it into the earth in frustration. And kind of sits down. She's kind of driven her giant sword into the earth so much that it's just kind of standing up on her own, and she just kind of sits down and rests her head against it.
You know where they were taken?
I don't know, but if you would join me, the presence of a healer would be most welcome, I think, and believable. I will go now as a concerned priest interested in a supernatural disaster. Your presence would be helpful, I think.
I'm just going to talk about Shannon again. What's the plan here? Do we just go in and hope we can sneak them out? Do we ask for them back?
I don't know. We shall have to find out. I intend to offer an explanation for their presence. I only hope they haven't incriminated themselves already.
I think with that, and as you two begin to head to the camp, Zurab and Barnlect are being dragged through this place. Your hands are summarily lashed above your head while you're in slump positions to posts. You kind of think in a kind of an area that has been cleared for kind of punishment. Perhaps Lox was lashed here earlier. And a number of soldiers are around you. One of them you see with some markers of authority steps forth, iron sword in hand, kind of looks at both of you, looks at Zurab and goes, "You bear Thypian patterns on your clothing. Who are you? Where are you from?"
I didn't hear the first. I heard something.
You bear
Clothing.
You bear Thypian patterns on your clothing. Who are you? Where are you from?
My name is Jurab. I guess Ash around. I used to work for Moda.
Used to work for Moda. This is a bold claim. I shall have someone verify this.
You can ask her yourself. I mean, she will remember me. I saw her last, how long ago? A couple of weeks.
Well, in truth, you saw her this night, but
last night
you saw her. You saw her a week ago now, when she let you go at Behel. Someone is sent for, and you see coming through the crowds, River to Chai.
Fuck off.
I know. You're going to be safe because River is possessed by Nook.
I think River's just not possessed. We've imagined that.
Well, she's not possessed.
It's doomed or saved right here, right now.
Okay.
Oh, fuck me sideways.
Just getting up her description. So you didn't see her before because you were in the dark. You only caught the barest of features. But here's what I wrote. This woman is unlike the other guards here. Absent is the dull grey armour known as iron, and instead a humble sleeveless robe of blue and white covers her short, stocky build. A human, you suspect, although her mutations are extensive compared to those around her. Her skin is a pinkish crimson, hair pure black, and 3 lumpen irregular horns rise a few inches from her forehead, each pierced and from which hangs a small tassel. Her physique is calloused and dense, and her legs are thick and gnarled like a weathered tree. From the base of her spine, a tail extends to the floor, similarly powerfully built. At her belt hang a collection of knives set in ivory sheaths, and in the orange firelight there is a certain beauty to her harsh, knotted form. She approaches and kneels down and looks at your face, Zurab, and she goes, "Zurab, why have you returned?" And you can see there's a certain flexing of her hands.
Did you not see the demon, the creature?
She looks back to where the chaos was and goes, "I've not had a chance to see it myself. It's disappeared into the night, but I've seen what it's done. Is this your work? Is this some gift from the Wizards of Behel?"
No, it is absolutely not my work. I showed that thing, and I thought I could, help take it down. I wanted to come and help. My accent's gone weird.
Why are you here, Zurab? Why here? You were left in Behel.
Well, I have been traveling with a group of companions. You will notice my Dromad friend here.
Hello.
Barney, introduce yourself. This is River.
Hello, I am Barnelek Kipatop, and sorry, I've just been hit on the head, so I'm a little bit oozy. But yes, I've been traveling with your friend here.
Okay.
That's all I have.
She kind of looks kind of almost dismissively to you and back to Zurab, and her eyes just kind of expect a better answer than fucking this.
Oh, fuck.
There is no better.
Listen, I was just... I wasn't going in because I didn't want to fight it. I was running away from it, personally. I have nothing here that I want. I just want to go home,
Sam,
please.
can you give me a deception check?
Deception. Coming right up. Here we go. What is deception? 18.
18. Fuck me. Very good rolls, everyone. 1 second. She looks to you, Barnelek, and goes, "You were running away into our camp that it was attacking."
Yeah, we were just walking alongside the campgrounds beforehand, just having a little look, because he...
Didn't they say the camp was really close to the house?
It was.
Yeah.
So...
it was really...
You went for a stroll at midnight in the darkness.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to give her advantage on her insight at this point.
I don't see how that's a problem. I'm a nocturnal animal.
Okay.
This is the end. Execute us all, please.
She looks back to Zurab and goes, "Who else are you here with?"
We got loads of friends.
Yes. I have these two ladies both are some sort of I don't understand it, mystical bullshit, and I'm now going to fail to describe nouns.
Should I be a kind of tall, lion-headed woman?
Yeah, I say that.
Okay.
She has a large sword.
River stands up immediately and turns to the person, the soldier with authority, and goes, they have some allies in the housing nearby. Go bring them out.
Oh, fuck.
The person in authority immediately goes, right, you, indicates to a platoon of soldiers and puts someone in charge and sends them out. We're going to go back now to Ailey and Corellia. You are beginning to move in the darkness towards this camp. You can see now, Corellia, where some of these tents have been flattened. Even this far, you can see some of the sprays of blood and the searing where some of these beams of light descended to destroy this place. You begin to see a large group of soldiers move in the dark, illuminated by the torches they're holding in your direction.
I'd like to address them.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Shannon, what did you say?
Could we have some time before they get there? Like, could we have been discussing a plan before they arrive?
You're, as I say, you're not far away. I'm going to give you like a couple of, you have a moment to.
No, I mean, like while they, obviously, it would take some time for her to like send the guards. They didn't know we were there.
Well, you're
straight away.
Not that far away. I'll give you I'll give you a minute's worth of conversation and so on.
Do you have any ideas?
Okay, so I'm thinking we either go in very hard and very fast and just be like, summon the demon, you can summon it again, you can fuck them all up, or the opposite, we're just two holy people on a pilgrimage, they were our bodyguards, don't kill them, we're very innocent. What do you think?
I think help and concern. We offer aid. We seem innocent. We seem to be their allies. We try to put the same for our friends.
Okay, it's gonna go fine.
Well, at least Locks won't kill you if it fails.
Okay. Sure. Okay. So as these soldiers approach, their spears line up to aim at you. The one in charge.
Before they put their spears up, I think I'd like to call to them.
Okay.
Like, as in, we're not hiding and being found.
Sure.
We
You're in
say,
the dark,
hello, can we help? Right? Like.
Okay. Give me a. You just say hello. Can we help? Give me a persuasion check.
I think specifically what we're saying is hello, can we help is fine.
Sure.
There's no special thing I'm saying, but we are calling out. I'm going to try to get back into the dice room again because it crashed.
Okay. You just roll a dice on your desk for now, though.
Cheers. So with persuasion, I have +0, and I roll a 15.
15. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. These soldiers are clearly agitated. One in charge goes, kneel on the ground, and the soldiers begin to fan out and surround you.
I sit.
A command will come forth. The one in charge says, take anything suspect on their person. Your staff is grabbed. Any weapons on your person are grabbed. These are pulled away from you, and then hands on either side come to grab you by your armpits and lift you up. The one in charge says, looks around and goes, the lion-headed one, where is she?
I don't know.
Very well. He splits his group in half so that 20 soldiers are going back to where Lox is, and 20 are moving with you, returning to the camp apprehended.
I'd like to make sure the guy takes and reads the letter I have of introduction.
Okay, so you shout out like I have a letter of introduction.
What do we think, lads? Do we think it's more likely to be destroyed out of hand now that I've wasted it, or do you think it's going to help?
You know about the lion-headed one. Ready,
yeah,
right?
I know that much. I don't think I want to give them a chance to ruin a potential future asset. I don't mention it.
Okay. You're dragged
How far away is
towards the camp. We go back to River and Barnlect, and Zurab. River has just kind of sat there for a moment, boring her eyes into yours, Zurab.
Hey, I don't think I've actually told a lie yet.
Doesn't matter. Like, you're still incredibly suspect.
I have.
Yeah, Barnlect has, but she hasn't noticed.
Well, she can insight me as much as she wants there, and I'm going to be telling sort of the truth.
She looks to you, Zurab. Why would you return this way, Zurab? Why would you come to the edge of Z, which is the salt desert you're next to?
Lishan, you know me. I've never exactly been a leader. I've not exactly been the one planning our movements. I've been tagging along and offering help where they need it. The reality is, after I was removed from Moda's service, I have found myself somewhat wayward and without some form of purpose. I feel like I may have resented her while she possessed me, but I have since then, I'll be honest, only looked for essentially somebody to replace her.
I'm joking, I don't react.
And who has replaced her?
Well, like I said, this group.
Whoa!
Moda
One you see beside me, and the others are away.
Moda was not a group. Who do you serve?
Well, I feel like we hold some sort of democratic.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Her hand forms a knife-like shape and thuds into the post next to your head so hard it splits through it.
Lishan, this is true. What are you talking about? I've been helping them out.
No,
I'm not sure.
Let me finish, Harry. She is going to add, in the moment you're stunned by this, and I rolled for you, you're quite intimidated by this, you can do with that as you please. I do not believe someone as simple and stupid as you would have the capacity to serve others as a group. You serve someone. Who are you working for?
Okay, so the reality is, am I working? We're not really working for anyone
at
all.
No, you came here at the behest of Nuch and Ilek, and not like
right, but like
decision.
they're dead now. Well, sorry. Ilek is
you can say
dead. That. I'm not going to say that. As I said, I mean, I help out around the group. One day I may serve the camel man by helping him, carry something around.
At this point, can you give me a deception check?
Okay. My deception is 11.
11. Okay. At this point, she is going to pull her hand from the post. You look into her eyes, she looks into yours. You know that she knows that you are deflecting and hiding something. She is going to just gently place one hand kind of along your jawline and go, tell me what I need to know.
Okay, admittedly, recently there has been this wizard person who has somewhat dictated my movements.
And where is this wizard person?
Dead.
Where is this wizard person?
I cannot give. I'm no one for directions. Clearly, over back where I was staying.
She looks and contemplates something for a moment. It goes, we were told one of them was able to surpass death. Is this one called Ilek? She says it with venom.
If I say no, is that going to be a lie?
At this moment, what does Zurab believe to be true? Do you believe that this is Nuch you've been traveling with, or Ilek, or do you think there's some fuckery going on?
I believe Nuch because I didn't really see and wasn't in a particularly mental capacity way, I think. This sounds like I'm metagaming.
No,
I'm
no,
not.
I can allow that. I can allow that. Like, sure. She's asked
I just lost my memory, and I'm not smart, and I wasn't even looking at the corpse.
Okay.
No, I admit we spoke with Ilek some time back, but we have not been going of Ilek's orders, or Nook, I think is the name.
She withdraws her hand and steps back. She indicates to a few more to go and find this corpse and bring it here.
Oh!
And
we have truly screwed the pooch.
Walks away. I think at this point it would be, for my own sanity, I think we should end here. Given that I just at a moment, I want to be clear, just risk here, like if you had said Ilek, I would have had to kill Zurab because of narrative. I'm
glad I made that choice.
Yeah, I mean that could have been close, but we'll see. I think we're gonna have to end there for now.
Oh my
Jesus Christ!
goodness.
This went completely. I didn't prep for any of this. I had no idea you would do any of this psycho shit. Well done for yet again. Completely throwing me off the rails. Yeah.
We ruined the game!
I don't know how the hell you're going to climb out of this hole, but whatever, we'll see.
But we've just got such good character art.
I know. It's a shame to waste it, but what can you do? Anyway, I think we're going to end there. Thanks, people, for watching. Nice to see Inurashi and a few others, Necro Kings, joining us again in the chat. Thank you for watching.
Thank you very much. Thanks, guys.
I need to go take an ice bath. Thank you, everyone. Goodbye. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.